Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 1 and 2.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy, and this is my final thoughts on Dying Light, the board game. Whew, this is going to be one of the best Kickstarters of the year for what they've been doing on this Kickstarter. It's absolutely incredible. It's approaching 1 million euros, and we're in the last 48 hours now, so it's a good time to see and talk about what's been happening. Now, I knew of the IP, but I hadn't played the video game. I saw it at E3, like back in, I think it was like 2018, and it looked really good, etc., 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 blah, 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 blah. And I think when the game came out, it was around about it was just before COVID happened, and I needed a new GPU because my graphics card was dying, and I couldn't really play modern games, and then it was impossible to get a GPU, all sorts, blah, 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 blah. Finally got a GPU. And I played Dying Light 2, and it's easily the best zombie game I've ever played. In fact, I think the game's in my top 5 of all-time video games, so that's after playing 200 plus games on my Steam list, and Dying Light 2 is just incredible. Parkouring is so dreamlike, wonderful, and the variety of zombies is incredible. So this has made me appreciate this Kickstarter so much more, as they are pouring so much of the IP into this that it is genuinely a love letter to the game, and it's fantastic. It really is. Now, regarding what they've done on the Kickstarter, I'll first say that this is exactly what Zombicide should have evolved to. But Zombicide, which is the biggest IP for zombies in board gaming, have been sitting on their laurels just reprinting another version of Zombicide with a new paint of coat in a different theme, similar to what the rail game, which I can never remember, that is in the retail space. What's that game called? You know, the rail game that has 100 different versions. Anyway. Excuse me, just having a quick sip. As I know this is going to be a long one, because I'm going to be talking a lot about this, by the way. So this is what we're looking at here. This is the all-in. Now, if this was the Zombicide all-in, you would have a plethora of boxes which would just be minis. And when you play Zombicide, you know you've got boxes on the shelves packed full of miniatures that are just going to be never used. That's the way it is. Zombicide, I'm talking about Zombicide because we need context here to really see why this has been so incredible. So all the Zombicide stretch goals are, here is another miniature to play with. Here's another miniature to play with. Here's another, and all the miniatures are the same, really. There's no real need. You know, it's just more plastic, just collect plastic, basically. It's very sad. And Zombicide, you're playing the same scene over again, and every time you play, there's a little bit of randomization. But what's been happening here, as it's been going down the stretch goals, it's been bringing in great things that change the gameplay and offer more gameplay and more things to do. Now, Z Garcia from the Dice Tower really angered me this week. I did a separate video on that, because he was basically throwing crap all over 3 of the big Kickstarters just around at the minute. This being one of them. He said it was basically Zombicide shaken up and open to see what we would get. He has no idea. Now, I think the best, quickest way is to just go to the FAQ and let's see. It has a mini campaign. It is an independent story. It's possible to play scenarios on their own. it does have one-shots with customizable enemies and difficulty levels. So it has a lot of things. The core box includes 3 mini-campaigns, 3 scenarios that are each, so that's 9, plus an introductory scenario and a final. So if that's an introductory scenario and a grand final, you could argue that's 5, so that's 15. Although it's sort of 11 here, and all this stuff. There's actually quite a lot of hidden information in here. Yes, there are boss fights that'll have special rules how to fight these, and remember though that there is an outpost phase. This is what Zombicide doesn't have. In between scenarios, so this is kind of its campaign. It will allow you to do things like upgrade your character skills or dice, buy new gear, or repair the ones you have, heal, upgrade the city map, and make use of abilities of NPCs acquired during the campaign to affect the next scenario in meaningful ways. That's correct. You will be going out in the city. You might have a scenario, or you might find an NPC to bring back to your outpost, and they will be with you through the campaign then. So this is why they're saying it will do so. Upgrade the city map. Yeah, you will be able to take over things and then move your outpost into a new area, or possibly make a safe outpost phase for the nighttime, where if you are getting chased by zombies, you simply go to the UV safe spot and the zombies will not attack you if you're in the UV place. So there you go. There's so much going on here. It's very, very exciting. Now it says deluxe version will include the miniatures and all this stuff. Now the other thing to mention here is 6 bandits. Zombicide doesn't have 6. It doesn't have bandits. It's basically just zombies, isn't it? So it is not really that fantastic. Now, what I also like is that you can just do you can just come in here with standees, and that really does make it cheaper, because if you jump over to minis, even though it looks like 15 euros here, when you go for the all-in box, I think it becomes a little bit more expensive. But yeah, so here's a standard pledge. That's basically becoming the retail box, and then you can deluxify it by getting the minis. These are the big pledges where you can get everything that's on here, but you can get this big box, which it comes in this beautiful collector's box here. And this blue box, by the way, this is a chest in the game. When you open special chest, actually, you really have to go into difficult areas to find these, and these have ways of upgrading your character when you find these potentially. So this is more IP coming into it. And if we go to the stretch goals, which is we'll talk about here because it just unlocks so many amazing things. Now, game funded here. Now, this guy is a character from Dying Light 2. So they're pulling things from the first game and the second game here. So you're getting the best of both of the IPs, past and present. And this is really good. I'm very bad with people's names. I'm more of a face person, which is why I can identify this guy immediately, but I can't tell you his name. A pilgrim, then, is a person that works outside of the city. They're roaming around as a nomad, and everybody that you talk to believes you are out there because you're a murderer, basically. You're chucked out of a city, and then you're not to be trusted. So potentially your campaign, you'll be gaining people. You'll be gaining morale or gaining trust before you get new missions from certain people. That's going to be really nice to see. I like the bundle though, as it's adding these legendary weapon cards. I also like the fact that between the scenarios, you might have a scenario which is based on stealth or nighttime activity, and you can switch character to become that stealthier character, and you can give them your weapons. You can give them your legendary weapon, which means they'll have upgraded dice if combat comes to it. So a lot of these upgrades you're getting can be, switched between characters, and with that, you don't feel that you are leveling one character through the campaign, because the fact that much of the things are tied to things, it makes it so much better, doesn't it? And you might find certain items in the city that another character will love to have, and that will get you excited. Even if that loot is not for your character, you know when you get back to base and you play the next scenario, that weapon will be juicy. Ooh, so good. So good. Night activation chips. Now, at night, you are going to be back at your outpost, but the way the night mode works is coming straight from the IP, and it's delicious. Now, during the day, there are certain zombies that have evolved to survive UV light, and they're the ones roaming the city during the day, and they're not as dangerous as the ones that have not evolved. For example, during the day, if you try and go to a place, it'll be full of zombies inside the place, and at night is your only chance to go in it or search that place, because those zombies are out on the streets now. But it makes it dangerous, and you've got to stealth around at night, else you'll get chased by zombies and have to go to a safe zone. And that won't be the outpost. That'll be stuff you did during the day to make safe zones during the night. So that's going to be really cool. It's going to be strategic, and will really help you do stuff. Now, so going for the stretch goals, they're unlocking these new type of infected here. So they're bringing all of the zombie types over. Now, if I remember correctly, the bolter here is a real pain in the backside, because he'll always run away from you. But it says it's a good treasure hunt, because if you kill it, you might have treasure. He kind of... he got quite a lot of health, this guy. He is like a bit of a mini-boss. He'll charge at you, and the only kind of way is to kind of hit it on the back. So... a lot of people think, though, that you can't kill zombies in this game. You can, of course you can. It's just at night. It's just not worth your trouble attacking zombies, because you will alert the horde, and you're better off stealthing at night. But in the day, you can chop things up without too much going on. Authority pack is bringing 2 new skills, and I like the fact that more skills are coming, so you can level up different characters in different ways. I really like that. Now, new bandit leader. This is really good as well, because there is going to be a presence of bandits, and it gives you that aspect of the it's not just you versus zombies. There are other factions that potentially are enemy, and that's really, really cool. Now, paragliding is going to be a new mechanic, and that is potentially a way of getting across the city faster or getting back to your outpost safely. Just climb up to the tallest building, and there you go. Super, super cool. So you might not have to run back at all. You can just paraglide back. Really cool. So yeah, the more runners that were unlocked was really good again, because you can mix and match it, and you can even introduce potentially a permadeath if they don't return. Dun, dun, dun. Which would be fun. So yeah, these are really nice, because they're just bringing more weapon types in, and they'll have their own dice modifications with that, and their own clothing set. New infected, the spitter. This is almost like the mage that you want to kill as soon as you see them. They're a pain in the arse there. Now, it says that these airdrops are the real Kickstarter unique stuff. Is that what it is? A lot of the stuff is going to be retail, but I think a lot of this stuff is Kickstarter exclusive. Yeah, airdrops included. It's pretty confusing, actually, all these stretch goals. Alrighty. Fire Devil bundle. This is going to be interesting because if this Fire Devil is it's zombie, isn't it? It doesn't say that, but Fire Devil set weapon card. I don't know, because there is a zombie that is kind of in a hazmat suit, and he basically, if you kill him, he sets fire to people around him. That's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if that zombie's there, but that's kind of suggesting that. So nice to see enemy sculpts getting different and more items coming. In fact, the Last Hope legendary weapon is an axe. You can get this as an add-on. And UV flashlight items. The nighttime, they're making sure the map and the buildings kind of have a glow at night, so you could turn the lights off during the game and just use lights as you're stealthing around. Pretty cool. Alright, so new runners, all good. Great to see the 3D bridges. They don't appear that often in the game, actually, bridges. And it'd be interesting to see if some of these bridges have holes in them where you've got to parkour across them, even though they're there. So yeah, Bandit Lookout. You might want to avoid this or you'll attract attention. Again, there's strategy about moving around and like jumping off buildings so you can get away from these lookouts. Now, military base is very cool. It's a new city tile that's coming in. Has its own, potentially it could be an outpost. It has its own gameplay associated with it, and it has these walls and gates. It's pretty cool. Well, here's the charger. The treasure one up there is a different one. I get confused with all their names because you don't really see them in the game part. So you don't see the name of the enemy. Yeah, so all this is really, really cool, and more alt sculpts coming in, really juicy. And the bandit camp is another area that you could control and potentially get as another outpost or safe location on the map. Up to 1 million now, just unlocked it, is the bomber. This guy is a suicide bomber. He'll blow up, and potentially this could be bad because of the noise. It might attract zombies. So yeah, interesting. UV stickers. You can tell they're getting desperate with stretch goals now. It brought some stickers on. I guess you can decorate the box and the inside or whatever. I don't know what this would be. Another new runner, and we don't know what's coming at the 115, but potentially it's something to do with the treasure box, so it could be more items, more legendary items or something like this. Really good emotive shot there of what a safe zone would look like, or the outpost, a place that you could buy here food from, and you will be, like you say, repairing stuff and leveling up and all this stuff. Anyway, there'll be a shop there as well. So, runners, don't recognise any of these from the game at all. Nice to see all the dice and stuff. We've talked about this specifically, haven't we, before? So, but it's looking absolutely fantastic. Let's look at the add-ons. Right, the windmill add-on. This is going to be controlled by bandits. You're going to take this over. It has its own benefits because you can get up here and it becomes a safe zone. You can get up here, paraglide off it to get where you need to be. Awesome stuff. Also has some gameplay you can tie into all the other parts of the city with the fall damage, the risk you can take, and ledges that you can put on buildings. So really cool. Underground expansion. I think this is the way of giving you a night mission. in the game. So you'll be going here at night because there are going to be zombies in here during the day, so it's going to be more risky to get in there. And this is going to add basically a side mission in the campaign, and you'll probably want to do it just because there's going to be nice gear inside, right? There are 60 Terror-sized scenario cards for coming in here, for goodness sake. And these pilgrim wristband markers, this is definitely thematic with the game because it tests... the game is everybody is infected, and the longer they go, potentially the infection's going to go, unless they're in UV light. So in the day, it's full green, you've got UV light from the sun, but at night, you need to sleep in a UV zone, and if you go down in the underground, then you're not getting any UV light, and this is where this comes into play, where the marker will go down, ticking down, before you will potentially have to get to a UV point, and it's super dangerous. So it's a time mechanic for everybody. It's very, very cool. Now, the Night Hunter expansion is very cool because it adds someone to control the monsters. So there are some things that go inside the game. If you're not doing that, so if you don't want someone to control the monsters, that's okay. There is still stuff in this box that will go into the game. But I really like this aspect, because if I'm bringing it to new people, it's kind of fun to kind of be the zombies, because you can make it more gateway and more safe for them. But you do get a deck of cards for the zombies, and you can have a little bit more fun with them. Pilgrim's Path expansion is giving you a set of new buildings. Love it. Some really tall buildings as well. Good for paragliding and all that good stuff. You can climb up these really easy. The actual GRE buildings here, they are basically cordoned off. It's a scientific area, and there's going to be awesome stuff inside of these. Alright, so this one just gives you more variability. Nice. A dice tower, which is still under testing, but it is very, very cool, isn't it? And the big storage box, which I always appreciate big boxes if they're coming with a lot of expansions. The Last Hope Axe, this is kind of funny. Kyle Crane is the protagonist from the first game. He's the guy that actually leaked the virus that made the world post-apocalyptic. Kyle, you dirty man. Acrylic standees. This is going to be good if you're thinking of just getting the retail and want a little bit of upgrade. Nice. Foreteller app, a must to have for the game, as it's going to be playing music, will bring the campaign with voice actors, and will bring your characters to life in the game. They're going to be awesome, as it says here. Voice acting, ambient sounds, and music. Wow. Now, the core box play mats. Now, there's some debate in the comments. You can see there's almost 5,000 comments. It's hard to get the correct answer. But some are saying it gives you different types of cities, so you can make it more variable with these mats. But why doesn't it say that here? I don't know. But if you want to replace them with mats, I don't think it's that expensive as an upgrade. And sleeves looked fantastic here, and the UV light add-on is great to see. Now I just want to go to the updates because it shows you the complexity of the pledges. It has become very, very kind of... I'm certainly on the $1 because I need to see what the shipping price will be, and but I think what I'm going to go for is the all-in. Now they do have this Zenithal pledge, which is the shading that's going to be on the zombies, like a wash will go on them, and it's a 40 Kickstarter price. It's 40 euros on top of it, but there is quite a lot of miniatures. Now the solo pledge here is basically the pledge taking away the box, which allows you to play one versus many. So that's why that is cheaper. It's strange how it jumps from 300 to 410 though, if you go for solo collectors. So what stuff are you missing there? It's we can see here the solo pledges don't have acrylic standees. They don't have the Night Hunter, they don't have the Foreteller on that, and they don't have the axe, which is going on that. Whereas if you go all in, you are paying for the axe as well. So you might just want to become cheaper anyway. If you don't want the axe, you can just go for deluxe pledges, and you'll just have to add the Foreteller app, and then you can decide if you want the axe. So you can make it cheaper. But I think that axe is kind of fun, isn't it? Alright. Can we go back? Right, so there's the collector's pledge. It looks fabulous, doesn't it? I love everything that you're getting here. This city map here, which looks like all the tiles are around it, it's a giant city. Looks so good, peeps. It does look so good. But my big thing here is, I don't know if I want to get it with just standees, but the way the pledges tiers works out, you could potentially go retail, upgrade it to that, and get all the expansion stuff and just go standees. I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about this game, because there's so many zombies, and it's gonna be, I don't know, it's got a lot to paint up, isn't it? And will it add to the presence of it? Maybe. I just like the ease of use, I guess, of them. But I mean, that's something you could decide. But I do love the storage box. I love that the axe comes in the big pledge. You can see how much money they're saying you're saving here, and that comes with the torch as well, and the dice tower. Basically, I think the way the campaign has gone is just been fantastic, because you can say, do you want the retail game? Do you want to have a standees as an upgrade? Do you want to go miniatures? Do you want these different expansions to make the gameplay better? Because you will have more scenarios and more gameplay features coming in. We've been unlocking extra characters, so you can mix and match between the scenarios and use different characters to the skill set when you're doing it as well. So absolutely phenomenal, peeps. It's done everything. Look at that. Looks good, doesn't it? It's done everything you could want from a Kickstarter. And, you know, some Kickstarters do, like Zombicide, for example. They do a lot of expansions, but would they give you a big box? No, they wouldn't. They give you a lot of cards. Did they give you sleeves? No, they don't. Do they offer you an acrylics or even standees as a cheaper pledge option, Zombicide? No, they don't. Are you offering expansions that you can actually bring into the main game as new gameplay features, like the windmill and the military base and the bandit town? No, they don't do anything like that. It's so silly. So for me, if you like zombies, you've got a zombie itch, you've not got a Zombicide in your collection, which I don't have. I've been waiting for a campaign Zombicide, and Dying Light has beat them to it. Not only has it beat them to it, it's bringing this incredible IP, and it's tying the IP into the game. It's genius. It really is, because in the video game, Dying Light has brought this genre of zombie games into a super innovative game. And it makes sense that if it came to the board gaming, it would innovate on every level of what would be seen before. So this is the great innovating zombie game that we've been waiting for. I'm so glad it's been so successful. It's over 1 million gazelles. We'll just see how big it gets. There you go. It's gone over €1 million. Fantastic. Does have true solo as well. I didn't mention that. But it is an official license, and I think it's just wonderful. It's got, look at all these different languages as well. It's just been absolutely fabulous, the campaign. And, oh man, this is why it's going to be the best Kickstarter of the year for me. I don't think anything's going to come close. Just the add-ons are so fantastic. The stretch goals brought so much joy to what it will add to the game. Nothing here feels like bloat. Nothing here feels like it should have been part of the base game. Remember, the base game has this campaign. 3 mini campaigns. These are side stories you could interweave between those mini campaigns. I love it. I love everything they are doing here. And the cherry on the cake is the Foreteller app. I'm telling you. That upgrades the immersion and makes the evening when you play the game more special. It's got everything. They could not have designed this Kickstarter better. I think the pledge levels and the cost of pledging is really good value. In fact, it's incredible. Because if CMON were offering what this would be, it would be really, really expensive. Not only that, they would have very expensive shipping as well, CMON. At least Dying Light here, Glass Cannon, done their due diligence with worldwide shipping. So, peeps, are we going to see another Kickstarter this year better than Dying Light, the board game? I doubt it very much. For me, they couldn't have done anything better. They must have sat round wondering what exactly, what could we do here to make this incredible? They obviously know their stuff, and it's straight into the Premier League of board gaming, where these companies are up there because they are the best of the best, the cream of the crop. And CMON, they are out of the Premier League because they constantly give you boxes of plastic that's not going to be used. So anyway, looks great. We still don't know what the scenarios are. So there's definitely more to be seen post-pledge manager as well. But if I can give any advice from the game, there's definitely going to be certain missions to push you into the night mode. Maybe it's a healer that needs certain liquids from the certain zombie brains or livers, and they are zombies that can only be found at night. So this is the kind of lore. Or they might say, can you collect this bug? or can you collect dog tags from soldiers that went into this building, and you can only go there at night because it's only safe to go there at night. And that's going to be cool because it's lights down, UV light torches out. Super, super cool. Anyway, peeps, it looks absolutely amazing. It's a must-back game. It really is. And if you've got Zombicide, just sell it while you can, because when Dying Light comes out, it is going to supplant this and make it obsolete. Bet your bottom dollar on that. So if you got this far, peeps, please give you a thumbs up and all that good stuff. If you've got access to a video game machine and you've not played Dying Light 2, I think you're going to love it. It's the best zombie game ever. And it thrills me that Dying Light 3 is in production. Oh my god, so good. So on that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This is Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and I've loved sharing my final thoughts with this Kickstarter, which has just blown me out of the water from what I could expect from them, and it's just given me more and more absolutely awesome sauce. So thank you so much for watching. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.